in your shop. I bet you have tools that just sit there for 4 or 5, 6 years, but you can't get rid of them because when you need them, you need them. Right over here, I'm going to talk about some of the tools that I have, that I've had for eons, and sometimes I use them every year, and sometimes I use them every 4 or 5. So check it out. And you can tell how often I use these because I just found a cricket on one of them. Hey, do you have crickets in your shop? In the comments below, let us know. When I talk about these tools, in the comments below, you can see how often I use this. I gotta take the dust off of it. In the comments below, let us know what tools you have that you're not gonna get rid of, but when you need them, you need them. This is one. It's an oscillating spindle sander. And there's a reason. This is perfectly 90 to the table. So when I'm sanding certain things, I can get a perfect round over, or I could sand out close to a template. That's why I own this. So I use this less and less. And the reason is because I have a shaper origin, and I can cut my templates or have my templates stored on my shaper origin. But every once in a while I gotta knock something out. So what I do is I cut it close with a scroll saw on my template, and then I sand it to the line, and I'll show you. I'm just gonna turn it on, and because this is perfect 90, I can bring that right into the line. Absolutely perfect. Okay, and get a perfect edge to run my router bit on right here. Okay, so when you're using an oscillating spindle sander, I always have one of these crepe cleaners. You can get them anywhere. I'm going to turn on my dust extraction because it works fantastic. I'll turn it on and clean this up to expose the new grit. And another application is, say I have a tall block of wood here and I need to break the edge on there, and it still remains perfectly at 90 degrees. My oscillating spindle sander is always there when I need it. I may not need it every 6, 7, 10 months, a year, 2 years, but I know it's there. What do you got like that? Hey, next on the list is an oscillating tool. I've had one of these forever because they get me out of certain situations. I bet you have one as well. Okay, do you use it every day? I bet not. I use this a lot for flooring. And this is my third one. You can get them from all price points. But the reason I choose this one, and it's my newest one, it's cordless, but also there's a plunge base you can get with it. And this eliminates, and I'll show you some of the problems with a multi-tool. What the plunge base allows you to do. And this is an example, a demonstration of this, cutting the back through hole for an electrical outlet in your cabinet that you're getting ready to install. This can be, not everybody's gonna look underneath in a base cabinet to see the electric outlet, but this allows you to get a lot more precise. Like I said, I use this a lot to cut jambs for flooring. But as you put this on, it's pretty simple. You just bring it in, and there's a little magnet right here, and that holds it perfectly at 90 degrees. Because with my older oscillating tools, as I start to cut this line, the blade wants to wander this way. This allows me to plunge at a perfect 90 degrees without marring the back of the cabinet. You may not use it every day, but everybody needs an oscillating multi-tool. Okay, so next on my list is a scroll saw. I've had this for a long time, and the reason I still use it is, one, it was a Christmas present, and two, it's always there when I need it for certain cuts. And I'm using it less and less nowadays because I have, I'll say it again, a shaper origin, because I use this predominantly now for making templates. We actually used it in a video early on, making templates for a bow saw, And I still use it to cut some intricate patterns. But when I look at a scroll saw, I think of it as a powered coping saw. I use a coping saw for a variety of reasons, making or removing waste in dovetails. For larger dovetail pins, I can actually use this as well. Okay, so here's a quick radius right here. I'm just going to turn it on and bring it right in. And the nice thing about a scroll saw is, yeah, you can cut really close to the line and then clean it up with that oscillating spindle sander. But this is a real nice cut. And you just take your time doing it. You can always back it out and get it close to that line. And I can see I can just stop, watch, I can just stop and recalibrate my cut if I want, even cut as close as possible. And the nice thing about a scroll saw, it cuts at a perfect 90. You can also take and tilt the saw and cut at certain angles. You can also drill and cut out pieces in the middle. So it's always there when I need it. Do I use it all the time? Yeah, but it's there. Whew, this is old. I don't think I've used this in 5 years, but I will always have this. I bought my first one, I think back in the early 1990s. Woo! And the only thing I use it for, this is a 1-inch belt sander with a 5-inch disc. I've never used the disc. I only use the 1-inch belt. And let me show you what I've used it for. So the funny thing is I don't even know if this brand is still available or this is still available. So I'm trying to find a link to put in on Amazon down below on some of these tools. But the way I look at this is I know I always have it there, and I use it for a variety of reasons. I don't think I've used this for like 3 or 4 years. I've always used it. I call it my power carver. And when I turn it on, okay, oh, it's still working. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the dust extractor. Okay. Now I'm just gonna turn it off. You can adjust the tension on it back here, okay, to track it. But this is how I've used it. I've turned tool handles before, but you'll see this flats here, okay? I've taken it to the machine to get those flats. I still use it for tool handles. Back in the 90s, my wife used to have me cut these out with a scroll saw, and I'll show you what I used it for. I actually use it as a power carver, and I can get in there and ease the edges on these little pine trees, just like this. So I use it all the time to ease edges. Sometimes I'll put hand holds or finger holds in tool handles. And it basically is a quick power carver for me. I'll always have this. Belts are still available. You can get them in any big box store. It's just a great tool to have when you need it. It's also a quick way to shape wood and ease edges. If you've made it this far, this is the last tool that I want to talk about. And you probably have one. It's a reciprocating saw. You have to have one in your shop. Do you use it in a shop? No, you use it out on the job site. You use it for remodeling, but it's a must-have. It's basically a demolition tool. I use it still to this day, possibly once a year, to do a variety of things. Sometimes trim the trees when I don't want to break out my chainsaw, okay? But also to break down old 2x material. I've used it a few times. My corded version gave up the ghost, and I was waiting for Festool to come out with a cordless model because I tried another brand cordless reciprocating saw and I was sold. The cord gets in the way, especially when you're breaking down like a stud wall on a job site. So one thing I'll add, if you don't have one, get one and make sure it's cordless. So I'm just going to cut this 4x4. And you're going to see it's like butter. And the nice thing about this cordless recip saw is, guess what? It's got a lot of weight and there was little or no vibration through it. What do you have that you can't live without, but you may not use for a couple of years? Leave it in the comments below. Hopefully this video was helpful, and as we always say from the SedgeTool shop, be positive, stay sharp, and we mean wicked sharp.